before we put the boat away for the winter, we also wash and wax the boat. And the main reason that is because we store the boat outside. It's in the weather. The wax is going to help protect it until next year. We'll start by washing with using this Purple Power concentrate for power washers. We typically use Dawn dish soap to take wax off, but this boat, I can't really tell that the previous owner did or did not add wax to it. It doesn't look like it's been waxed in a while. It is 4 years old. So we're going to use 3M Light cutting polish and wax. This will do both for us. It helped get a good coat on there for me. In the spray gun for the power washer, I've got like this mini spray gun. This is nice. The pressure that comes out of this is not going to cut into the fiberglass or not going to harm the hull compared to like the 2700 psi one that I've got. It will cut a hole in it. And then I'm going to use this foam gun to kind of shoot the foam on it, let it sit on the boat for a minute or two, and then use the brush to wipe it off. I'm going to use these squeegee towels to kind of dry it off. And then during the waxing process, if I've got any excess on there, I'll use these microfibers to kind of get the excess off. So why are we really washing it? Well, it's dirty. Let's take a look. We've got some black boat marks on the back of the boat. We've got some dirt, got some grime. You kind of see here. We've got some dirt on this the pad, which we'll take that off. We'll show you how we clean the foam pieces on this boat. And again, it's just from use over the year, over the summer. It's just got grime and stuff all over it. It is a freshwater boat, and putting this wax and cleaning it, it's actually going to help it while it's sitting out in the open. So let me get to washing. While the boat is drying, let's have a look-see at the inside of the boat cover. As you can see, it's kind of dirty. And what I'm looking for, any signs of mold at all. And we got some right in here. Right there. Right there, you just kind of see it spotted. And you don't want to let that go. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix up half a bottle of, I don't know how many ounces, this is 26 ounces, about 13 ounces of Starbright mold and mildew remover and water. So this is what I'm using to spray on the cover of it. And we're just going to massage it in, let it sit for a while and wash it off. You do not want to let this sit on here because between it and the sun, it will deteriorate this cover. So again, I'm just going to start misting this all around, let it sit, rub it in with the brush. Yeah, it's real bad up in here. And then wash it off. Now that I've got it covered with the half Starbright mildew remover and water, I'll let it sit here for about 30 minutes. And you're probably wondering, well, how are you going to wash that off? Well, what we'll do is we'll back up one of my trucks into the yard, and then we'll hang it off the back piece by piece, and then we'll wash it down. I'll show you how we do that. This is how we're going to wash the tarp off. We're about to start the waxing process. You can see the boat already kind of has a, I wouldn't say a mirror finish, but it is a little shiny, and we're going to improve that. We'll start by using some 3M light cutting polish and wax. You need to shake this stuff up. I'm going to use the medium polish pad and wax pad. An orbital waxer. The instructions for this say to not have this go higher than, well, between 1200 and 2000 RPMs. So I'm just going to apply some of this to 3 or 4 spots on the back of this. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to work in kind of a 2 foot section. And I'm not going to start off right away. I'm going to pat it on the boat, get it kind of spread out like that. And we're going to start slow and then work our way up. So what we're going to do is kind of go side to side all the way down, and then up and down, then side to side, and then up and down until this compound is gone. Okay, now that the compound's kind of wore down, it's kind of like just some grease that's left over. So I just take a microfiber and just wipe off the excess. I did go over the graphics. When I do go over these, I don't press too hard. I just kind of go over them lightly. You definitely want to try to tear the ends of the graphic off. So right now I'm just wiping off the oil that's left over. That looks a lot better. So I'm going to move on to the next section. I'm going to start doing the easy parts first, and then I'll start doing the hard parts. I do wax the bottom of my boat. Some people say you'll lose some miles per hour or something. I really don't care. I'm really concerned about keeping the gel coat waxed and moisturized with oils and things of that nature. So I do wax the bottom of my boat. So I'm going to continue on, and we'll come back and see what we do about the other side. Okay, it's day 3 of our winterization process. Yesterday we started at the back. Waxing went all the way around the port side, and we made it to here. So now we gotta go from here all the way down there, and then we're gonna wax the bottom of the boat as well. And instead of using the light wax on the bottom, we're going to use this one-step compound for aggressive cleaner plus whatever it's on it. It's supposed to remove heavy oxidation and helps remove some light scratches and whatnot. The previous owner of this boat, I don't know if he was driving over trees or what, but you can kind of see right here, there's scratches right there, all the way down the middle of the boat. He didn't have a keel guard on here, and I have one ordered, so that'll be the next step. But I'm going to put some heavy wax on that to see if I can clean that up before I put the keel guard on. So I'm going to continue waxing and come back later and show you what the next step is. Sometimes you'll have these black streaks on your boat, and the easiest way to take it off is to use like a polishing compound. We use this one step. It's pretty safe and easy to take it off. Do not use a magic eraser on your boat. It will create swirl marks and it's somewhat abrasive. It'll take the wax off actually. So we'll just take some of this, rub it on there with an applicator. It comes right off. We are almost done waxing this bad boy. I'm going to start waxing underneath the hull, and as you can see, that long streak right there is where the previous owner ran over something. I don't know what, but there's not really any damage there as far as like integrity to the hull. It's just a big long scratch. So I'm going to take some heavier compound polish and wax this one step and see if I can get some of it taken out. And I've got a keel guard coming soon, so that should fix it or help it out at least. The next step in my winterization process will be to look at the bolts on the trailer, especially at the bunks, because they have some rust going on around them. And what I use is this fast etch. You basically spray it on the bolts and the nuts and let it sit for a little while. I'll agitate it a little bit with the wire brush and then wash it off with water. Once it dries, I'll use this top coat clear kind of paint to help prevent some of the rust. The main reason I'm doing that is because during the winter, you know, this thing is sitting out there, and these bolts, as you can see, they're kind of rusty. And I've already found another one up front that's really bad. That one. So I'm going to apply some etch to it, let it sit, and I'll show you what it does, and then we'll move on to the next step. You can kind of see the etch. Just clean that bolt up real nice. Now, still let it sit here for a little while, and then use some water to clean it off. Okay, now we're going to carefully wash off the etching compound off the bolts. If you can remember the bolt from before, what it looked like compared to now, it looks a hell of a lot better. So I'm going to, like I said, go through and wash off the rest of the bolts carefully, not try to get any on the hull because I've just waxed it. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, while the bolts on the trailer dry, we're going to move into the interior of the boat to wipe down the seats, vacuum out any dirt and debris, and remove the mats and clean those. Now that we've got the boat waxed, we've addressed some maintenance issues with some corroded bolts on the trailer, and while we're waiting for it to dry, we'll focus on the interior of the boat. So we'll first start by doing some light wax around some of the fiberglass in here, and then we'll focus on the vinyl. We use boat juice as our kind of go-to for cleaning the seats, but then every once in a while we'll run into an area where it just won't clean. So we've used this roll-off quite a few times. It's actually pretty good. So the other thing we're going to be doing is taking these dirty mats out, and I'll show you the foam cleaner that we use for it. I remove the mats because even though the boat is covered with a cover, water still gets in here during the winter. So these actually absorb water, and I'm trying to avoid having any mold issues within the boat. So taking these out will help with the mold situation, and also preserve them longer, because temperature changes on these mats, they are foam. Over time they will corrode or degrade. So keeping them in the garage over the winter will actually help prolong the life of them. So I'll start with some boat juice. Just kind of wet these down a little bit. Let it set for a second. Take my cloth and rub them down. We wipe these seats down quite a few times during the summer. Reason being is that if you don't keep these clean, it'll be real hard to take out stains and things like that later on. And boat seats are not cheap. So if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. If the boat juice doesn't work, the roll-off doesn't work, we actually do switch over to kind of like a magic eraser for boats, but I think it's the same kind of thing. We'll just take a little bit of this roll-off, put it on there, and just in this one spot, we'll go at it. And there we go. It's clean. We don't want to use this on all the seats because it is a little abrasive. It can take any coatings or films off the seat. So we always come back after we clean it with that, with some boat juice, and coat it. Now that we have the mats out, we're going to take the this cover off the gas tank area and clean under it. She's dirty. Alright. I got a few things. I got some Starbright, and I got some boat juice. What is this? Ceramic sealing water spot remover. But I just need to get a lot of this cleaned out, and I'll just use a paper towel. Okay, now that we've got the gas tank area cleaned out, one thing of note I found out when I was spraying water in here, it wasn't emptying anywhere, so I had to take the shop vac out and suck the water out of the back portion of the gas tank area. So I've dried everything off as good as I can. I don't want any water in here. I've gone through and cleaned all the pipes, so now we're just going to put it back like we found it. Next, I'm going to clean out the rest of the floor and get all this dirt and crud out of here that you kind of see in places. And then what we'll do is we'll spray all the electronics, the connections with this corrosion block. So every connection that's exposed, like my speaker wires, some of the electronics in the engine bay, some of the electronics in the battery compartment, we spray with this and it'll help keep the corrosion down. Okay, now I'm going to take this corrosion block and spray in all my exposed connectors, speaker wires, including the connectors on the trailer. You just take a little bit of this and shoot it to the plugs, trying to get it all over the place. Plug it back in. That's it. So this is going to help with corrosion with any of the wires on the boat. I'll go in behind the helm here and shoot those connectors to the amplifiers. Wipe off the excess. Next, we're going to spray the electronics in the engine bay with some heavy silicone. There is, I believe, some Yamaha lube, but silicone spray will work. And what this does is kind of helps preserve the electronics, keeps them from corroding. Just any of the connectors I'm looking at here. It's not going to hurt the motor at all. Okay, that pretty much takes care of the maintenance on the inside. Okay, the last thing to do is, or one of the last things to do is to blow the motors out. I don't want to start them because I've already fogged the motors already. I've jacked the boat up at a pretty good incline. I've got my air hose hooked up to the water line attachment that kind of came with the boat. We're going to put that in there. Get it hooked in. Make sure it's in there. There it goes. It's in there now. And you can hear the air blowing out the back. So we got that one. And we'll do the other one. Now I'm going to remove the batteries. I stored this boat at a marina and there's no charging there, so I put them on a battery tender at the house. I've labeled each one start and house. I'm going to zip tie and label each cable set to each battery before I pull them out and put them on charger. Before we head back to the lake, I'm going to hit all the bolts on the trailer with this top coat metal protectant. It helps prevent the rust developing on it. So. Okay, we're back at the marina. I have filled the boat with gas, almost full, and added the rest of the stable into it. We put the bimini top back on. I've added a extra layer of protection. We've added this kind of tarp on top. We've got all these straps around it to kind of hold it on. We're going to be adding these little pool noodles in between the seats so that there's ventilation. You guys can kind of see that. Air between the seats and stuff so that there's ventilation if they do get wet. Let's see, we've got these dehumidifiers from Better Boat that we're going to be hanging up all over the place So we use these to fill it with water. Other than that, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you learned a few things. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you later.